Hi everyone, it's Melissa here. Oh my goodness, I just looked at the clock. It's 11:11. Hey, perfect timing. I'm here today live with you to share about how to find your niche and purpose. And so there are three essential components to really feeling like you're living your niche in life. So what is your niche in life? It's that place where you feel you fit, you belong, you feel happy, you feel fulfilled, you're growing, and you feel abundant. And I think that's what many people are seeking. And nobody has taught us how to find that place because we're only taught about the material world, the outer stuff. And while that is important and it's part of what you're involved in while you're here in this lifetime, there is the other side of the equation, and that's the inner, the feelings, fulfilling those spiritual needs. So that's what I'm going to talk about today, the three components that are really essential if you want to be living your unique niche and purpose. And I do invite you to join me next Wednesday, January 25th, where I'm going to be doing a free masterclass. It's called The Three Steps to Find Your Deeper Soul's Calling. And it's free. You can sign up at communicatewithangels.com/soul calling. I think I put the link to that in the description, hopefully. So let me know if you have any questions about that. I see a few people have joined live. Welcome, welcome. So glad you're here. Please say hi in the comments. Let me know how you're doing. Where are you in the world? If you don't know me very well, my name is Melissa. I live in Richmond, Virginia, USA. I just moved a few weeks ago, so I have a new office. And sorry, it is still a little bit messy. You see books not put away properly, but we're getting there. And it's so fun to have my own little office here. Okay, so let's dive into the topic of living your purpose and your niche. So, in the masterclass on Wednesday, I'm going to be kind of drawing this out in a visual way, but I'm not going to do that today. But you can imagine that there's this sweet spot right in the middle that we're all seeking. And quite frankly, we all need, right? If you are in a place where you're not living your niche in life, you can tell that by thinking, okay, do I have more ups than downs in my life, or do I have more downs than ups? Right? And so if you're having more downs than ups generally, there's something needs to shift. You need to course correct and find that place where you fit. So there's this sweet spot in the middle, what we're all seeking. And there's three essential components to get you to that sweet spot. And each one requires a little, self-reflection to say, okay, what needs to change here? Am I on the right track? Right? And by the way, if you ever have that question, am I on the right track? You can get confirmation of that from your personal team of angels or spirit guides. They are the ones that can indicate that to you. Really, nobody else can. I mean, other very intuitive people might have a sense of it, but you have your own board of directors, your own guides that can help you find the path to your purpose. So that's an important piece of this as well. That's a whole nother conversation, really. But it's a common question that that people have is like, am I on the right track? Right. So this is the three components that tell you if you're on the right track today. So the first one is doing what you love. Are you doing what you love in your life? Or are you doing it because you have to pay the bills? Or you don't know what else to do, or it's expected of you, right? So, yes, I'm talking about work, but I'm really talking about other aspects of life as well. What are you involved in? And do you like it? Do you love it? Right? If you don't, you can put up with that for a while. But over the years of doing something that you don't like, it is going to wear you down. There are so many people in our society right now that are experiencing mental health issues like depression, anxiety, right? And then physical issues. And all of that is the result of your soul getting your attention. So you are energy, you are a soul. The physical body is just a vehicle that you use while you're here in this lifetime. And so your energy is here for a purpose, your soul, I should say. You are here for a purpose. And if you do something that's kind of getting sidetracked from that, or somebody else wants you to, your soul is going to start getting your attention. And it's not like this loud thudding, maybe it is for you, but usually it's this subtle kind of crying out or feeling dissatisfied, unfulfilled, right? Something is missing in my life. What is the meaning of all of this? So those are the kind of symptoms that you start feeling when you're out of alignment with what you came to do in this lifetime. And so what I'm really talking about here is finding that path to course correct back to what you came to do, because that's where you're going to have these feelings of happiness and fulfillment, right? And money isn't going to do it. I'm not saying don't have money, enjoy, be abundant. And that is separate to the inner spiritual fulfillment. Hi, Brittany. Thanks for hearting that. I appreciate it. If anyone else wants to introduce themselves in the comments, please do. Okay, so doing what you love. So for career or business, are you doing what you love? Or are you going through the motions? What is it that you love? Some people don't know how to answer that question. And so that means that you need to go on a journey of self-discovery and awareness and invest in, a book, a program that will help you with that too. Somebody who can point you in the right direction. And also family life, right? Maybe you're a stay-at-home parent, and are you loving that or not, right? Start to be really honest with yourself about where you're at. How happy are you with what you're involved in? Okay. So, hi, Kashan. So for me, this reminds me of a time maybe 6 or 7 years ago in my life where I was in a marriage that was really not healthy. It was kind of a toxic relationship after a while. And I'm going to keep all the details of that private out of respect for that person. However, right, I needed to, for a while there, I wanted to push that aside and ignore it and pretend it wasn't happening and say, I'm okay. Because admitting that to myself would mean I had to leave, I had to move, I had to come up with an agreement for custody of my son. Like that felt really scary. And not to mention, financially supporting myself on my own. And so I just tried to ignore the fact that I was really unhappy and that person was not nice to me. Right? Why be married to someone that's not nice to you? But it's amazing how we can get ourselves in those kind of situations, right? And so what is that for you? What is it that you're kind of trying to ignore, push aside? Maybe you're covering up with eating too much or drinking alcohol or whatever it might be. But regardless of all those things we try to do to cover up, it gets our attention anyway, right? It's there. And so the more healing way of doing it is kind of admitting that to yourself and start evaluating all the different areas of your life, right? All the different areas of your life, your living situation, your friends, your romantic partner, your children, whatever, right? All the things that you're involved in, hobbies, career, all of this is part of it. Are you doing what you love? And if not, I'm not saying, oh my gosh, you fail, like, you have to change it right now, but just start getting on that journey. And I know what comes up for me when I do this is then the limiting beliefs. Oh, well, I can't change my living situation because I can't afford it, or whatever, excuse might be. But the regardless is that you're on that journey of moving toward it. And so start to see yourself that way. Okay, so component number 1 of living in your niche is doing what you love. And so if you find that you're not, okay, what are the steps I need to take to shift this? The second component of being in your niche is growth and fulfillment. So if you are doing something, let's say career, if you're doing something that you've been doing it for a long time and you're actually not really learning anything anymore, you've mastered it, you're so good at it, you could do it in your sleep. That's a situation where you actually might start to sabotage yourself and to feel unfulfilled because there's no growth anymore. Fulfillment really comes from growth and being of service, right? Service to yourself and to others, not leaving yourself out, right? Service and growth. Okay, so if you've mastered something, it's probably time to change, or you're going to get bored, and then you're going to get on that spiral of unfulfillment, right? So this is also about listening to your feelings and acknowledging your feelings and the energy that is indicating how happy you are with what you're involved in. Now, we all have challenges, right? So I'm not saying we're going to be 100% happy all the time. But again, is it more than 50% downs than ups? Then it's time to course correct. Okay. And the third component of being in your niche is abundance. So, really feeling like you are abundant in your life. Abundance starts with a feeling. And I'm talking about a broad concept of abundance, not just money, although that's a big, important part of it for sure. And don't deny that. You deserve to receive abundance. But I do think it's really important actually to not just limit it to money, because I like to think about, do I feel abundant in my relationships, in my friendships? Or do I feel like I only have one or two friends? Yeah. Because in those times where you need support, if you only have one friend, you might not get the support that you need. So, what can you do to create more abundance? And this is something that I have to work at because I'm an introvert. It actually doesn't come naturally to me to like make a bunch of friends, but I make an effort to have it be a priority and to continue to nurture relationships. And I had an experience of receiving abundance this morning where somebody that lives close to me, and she actually was a neighbor where I used to live, and she has a little boy that loves playing with my son. But we hadn't actually had a friendship just with us. We chatted for sure, but we'd never gone out together as friends. It was all more about the kids, right? But this morning, she sent me a text inviting me to a party, which is just, a ladies' party. I was like, oh, cool. Because I put effort into nurturing that friendship, now I've received something abundant back, right? So this is abundance in all things. If you're looking for a new romantic relationship right now, do you feel there's an abundance of possible people out there for you to meet? Or do you feel like there's no good men or no good women left, right? So feeling abundance is a sense of, I can create what I need. If I'm feeling there's a lack of something in a certain area of my life, you feel and believe and trust inside that you can create more abundance. So maybe it is like, okay, I want to change my job. I don't like my job, but I don't know what to do what else right now. And maybe you don't have the answers today, but you feel inside that there is an abundance of opportunities out there for you to find. Rather than, I'm stuck, I have to stay where I am, nothing's ever going to change, right? So start to have an abundant state of consciousness, an abundant viewpoint of your life, that things are always growing and expanding. And just trust the timing of that, right? And one thing I will say about abundance too is there's a concept, especially in the United States where I live now. I used to live in New Zealand, if you're wondering what the accent is. But there's this belief like bigger is better. Oh, we all have to have big cars. We all have to have big houses. We all have to have big bank accounts. I don't think that's necessarily the case, right? What is the place where you feel abundant? And for some of my clients, when we've done this kind of work on abundance, they've said to me, Melissa, I actually want to downsize my house. Like, I don't want a big house. And I say, great. That's actually what makes you feel abundant. Okay. So abundant does not mean bigger and better than everybody else. It just is that feeling of expansion, right? And trust that there's possibilities for you that will bring you that fulfillment and growth. It all kind of comes back to that. So we live in two worlds at once. We live in the spiritual and the material worlds. And some of us have left the spiritual part out of the equation. It's all about what I'm achieving. Our society is overly masculine, and this is the journey to bring you back to balance so we can eventually bring the world back to balance of both masculine and feminine energies. And it doesn't matter if you're male or female or you have another gender identity. We all need that balance, right? So start to acknowledge that, because we don't need all these drugs to make us feel better. We need spiritual abundance and fulfillment. That's what we need. So if this is resonating with you, I hope that you will join me next Wednesday for the masterclass. It's free. It's called 3 Steps to Find Your Deeper Soul's Calling. The link to sign up is communicatewithangels.com/soul calling. I'll type that in the comments too. And invite a friend that might need this message as well. So if you guys have any questions, please type them in now. I'm happy to answer them before I go. And let me just make sure I spell this right. Communicate with Angels is kind of a long URL. Soul calling. Okay, got it. Hope to see you there next Wednesday. There will be a replay, but do come live if you can, because it's always a fun and fulfilling experience. Okay, well, I don't see any questions right now. If you watch this later and you have a question, pop one in the comments and I'll come back and answer it later. Have an amazing day and can't wait to see you on Wednesday for the free masterclass. Bye now.